this is just being in the game for 5.5 years. I've seen people come and go, and there's a lot of conversations about competition and is it bad? Is it good? What do I do with it? I'm anxious. There's more people coming in the space. Is it saturated? Is it not too saturated? And I guess I would say like I could probably wrap up this video already in like 30 seconds, and I could basically just say, and so what? How can you control that? How can you control your competition? You can think about them all day. You can write about them all day. You can worry about them all day. None of that is going to make you a better business owner in your coffee cart business. Now, yeah, sure, you can pull from certain ideas and inspiration, but what I see more so is the crippling anxiety that you think about competition. And so what I actually challenge you is why competition exposes you is that if you are afraid of competition, then you're probably not as good as you say you are. And that might be hard to hear, and you might want to cancel me for that. That's okay. I do believe that the only thing that I can offer people is the truth, and the only thing that truly helps in this life is the truth. That is it. Now, obviously, I have an encouragement for you too in this video, but that is the thing I see because if you are really good at what you do, then you love competition because you're like, finally, like there's a worthy opponent. Like there's someone that I can get out of bed and like I can go to war against. I know I feel like I'm taking parts of like Lord of the Rings and Invincible or all the different shows, that I watch. I'm a big Star Wars guy. But business is a game, it's a war, it's savagery. And as much as there's this notion of everyone wants to be friends and everyone wants people to win. Like, I'm not saying that that's not a bad thing. I'm also saying that's not true, but also is business. And only one person can really be the best. Now, the great thing about business is that you don't have to be the best and you can also make a lot of money. So, and also being best in the coffee world can be subjective. But going back to competition, ask yourself when you see competition, you see another cart pop up in your space, or you're wanting to start a coffee cart and you see all these carts. Why would it scare you? And does it scare you because you're like, wow, they could do it better than me? It's like, all right, what would it take for you to be better than them? Just ask questions that are going to help you in your business, not scare you out of the business. And maybe that's the thing you think about. And maybe that's where you're at. You're like, hey, this got me thinking, and maybe I don't have what it takes, and I'm better to go down a different path because I don't know if I'm willing to sacrifice what they're doing. I don't know if I'm willing to work as hard as what they're doing. Everyone wants to win, but no one wants to sacrifice what it took to get there. Been in the business for 5.5 years. People want the success of phase two, like 6 months in, a year in. I'm like, we're not getting as many events, or phase two is taking some of our events. I'm like, yeah, we've been in for 5.5 years. Like, I had to pay the price back then. I remember waking up every single morning, making hardly anything. First year, we did $7,000. Holy crap, back in 2020, 2021, when COVID was recovering in a super, super slow market like Kansas City. And going through that, what I switched my mindset to was just thinking, all right, if I can get through this, I can probably get through anything. If I can get through this business, if I can go through the suck and the hard times, not making much money, I can consistently improve, then this is where a lot of people would quit. But you have to ask yourself if that's you. There's no right or wrong. You just got to be real with you. And I think you can compare yourself in competition with like, hey, what are they doing? Why is it better? How do you learn? But if you make it crippling anxiety or you make it too much of your identity, then you already lost, right? Um, so I just going back and just to say like competition will expose you. And so for me, I actually love competition because I know that we're good. And so when there's more coffee carts kind of flooding our market in Kansas City, I'm like, finally, like we need more carts because I need the market to compare us, right? So when there's only a couple different carts, the market looks at us, it's like, man, your price is high. Well, there's nothing to compare it to. Or are you that good? Like, why are you better than these couple other people? But as more carts come into the market and we are consistently willing to go above and beyond for our clients, willing to improve on my business mind and my skill sets and to invest into our team and also into the students that we have in the community, then all of those things, for that reason, I will love competition because I'm like, we're willing to do what you're not willing to do. And I don't mean it in a way of like, dude, screw my competition. I hope you die. Like, no, like I want them to win. I want to win a little bit more. I don't want to go to battle against someone who's hurt. Like, what's the point of winning? I want to go into battle that someone is what he's got amazing speed, amazing strength, and I get to go head to head and see, all right, who's taking the crown? And maybe some months it's someone else, and the other months it's you. But you're always just head to head. How do you improve? And I think competition is healthy in a way because it makes you better and allows you to not to slack off. And I think a lot of these people that have been in the markets that are seeing some of these coffee carts come in, and I'm also coaching all these people, and they're getting all these years of knowledge and proof. They're starting to do, they're going to do circles around some of these other people that don't have that. And it's just challenging the status quo of like gone. We're getting to this phase where it's like gone are the days where you can just have a coffee cart and have some of the network and be okay. Now it's going to start being more educated. We're going to have to really understand your offer. You're going to have to really dial in your sales. You're going to have to be able to know how to market and build a team. You're going to have your ops just dialed to a T. And that's great because, more competition just always improves. That's why when you see Olympic races, like I was a big swimmer, that's why you see world records always being broke. Like sometimes you go into it, but the training, there could be like maybe some new technology, like training of different coaches, but really just the bar raising, like breaking the beliefs of what other people before you have done. And so when a coffee cart goes from like two carts in your market to like four, like, okay, wow, now that's the next level I have to go to. And so for us, that's the kind of standpoint. Like no one in the entire Kansas City market has ever had three coffee carts. And so like the equivalent of us in our market, it's a different video to go into like market location, but the equivalent of like three coffee carts in Kansas City is like the equivalent of like eight or nine or 10 in LA. And so when you do things that no one's done before, you love the competition. And so say like you're starting out and you're like, well, that's great, Christian. I can see why you love it. You got to ask yourself, reflect why, if you're in the middle, you've been in the coffee cup for 2, 3 years, you see more people coming in. Why, what is it about that competition exposes you? Expose you doesn't mean it's bad or good. You have to ask yourself that. Does it expose you? We're like, okay, awesome. Wow. It's exposing me in a good way because now people get to see the difference in level of experience and hospitality that we give. And finally, the market's like, okay, we can tell that Susie with Joey's coffee is so much better. Like they care. They just care so much. Or that like wow, like the sales pattern and their follow up with the clients is just 10 times better. They invest into consulting. They went to this mastermind. They're reading the books. I can tell that guy read Unreasonable Hospitality. I can tell that guy read $100 million offers by the way that he's running his business. And so if you're complaining that yours is not as good, then what are the steps that you need to do to get closer to your competition? Because thinking about them and crying about them won't do anything. And I've been there. I'm saying this because I've been there. And I've been there in my coffee cart business. I've been there in my coaching business because I know there's other coffee carts out there coming to Kansas City. Like we got a lot for Casey. Like there's like 12 or 13 now. I'm like that's the equivalent of like having like 150 carts in New York or maybe more. um, so that's just something I wanted to share and just give an encouragement of like, okay, if competition scares you, are you willing to make the sacrifice to meet them where they're at and add your unique advantage? And if not, maybe it's better to throw in the towel because it's not like you always fighting that it's not going to be worth it. I'd rather you go towards some different avenue or somewhere else than be miserable and always compare yourself to competition or feeling like you can't always measure up to them. So I don't know if I have anything more to add on that, but competition is a good thing. I think it's almost like that baseline where you can look at it and just see, okay, hey, how can I learn from them? What does it expose about me? Why do I feel this way? Does it fire me up? Does it feel like it humbles me? And for us, yeah, like we've leveled up in a lot of ways because I've seen our competition. I'm like, wow, this is great. Like we have to be faster in our follow-ups. We have to have more offerings in our offer. We have to build better relationships. We have to do better at marketing. I need to share more of my story so people can connect with the founder story. So all these things where if it wasn't for other people coming in the market, I probably wouldn't be as good. So I'm honestly kind of thankful for my competition because they've helped me. So you have to be willing to understand, are you up for the challenge?